In today's class, let's learn about Van de Graaff generator, which is a very important question for the examination. What is Van de Graaff generator? Van de Graaff generator is a device, it is a machine which is used to produce voltages of the order 10 to the power of 7 volts. So, this machine is able to produce 10 to the power of 7 volts potential. So, Van de Graaff is a device, it is a machine which is used for the production of high voltages of the order 10 to the power of 7 volts. I told you the definition. Now, I will tell you the principle upon which this machine works. Principle. It works on a very simple principle that electric charges travel from a region of higher voltage or higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. I will put that in a simple sentence. Electric charges flow from a region of higher potential to the region of lower potential. Now, this can be explained in a little bit length in detail as, let's have a big conducting shell and inside let's insert one more conductor through an opening here. You think that there is an opening and one more conductor is inserted. It's kept on an insulating stand, some stand like this. Let plus Q be the charge on the shell. This is called shell and this is the sphere, conducting sphere or conductor. Simply in general, let me call it as sphere. Let small q be the charge on this sphere. If this sphere is connected to the shell with the help of a wire, this is a wire. Now, the principle on which Van de Graaff generator works is that all the charges will now flow and reside on the shell itself. All the charges on this sphere through the wire, it goes and resides on the conductor, that is on this shell. So, let me just write that. Whatever I said, I will put it in the form of a sentence. If a charged conductor is introduced into a conducting shell and brought into contact with the help of the wire and brought into contact, then all the charge from the sphere, that is conductor, will flow to the shell, whatever be the charge of the shell, whether it has a charge already or it is uncharged, irrespective of its situation, all the charge from the sphere will flow to the shell. So, now we can understand that the sphere is at higher potential and the shell is at lower potential because charges flow from sphere to shell. Now, in such a situation, now we have to prove this principle that the sphere sphere will be at higher potential and the charge will be at, the shell will be at lower potential. So in the examination, you have a question like this. It's almost saying, if a charged conductor is introduced into a conducting shell and brought into contact, then show that, this is the question, then show that all the charge from the sphere will flow to the shell, whatever be the charge of the shell. It's a lengthy question and in fact principle also. So I will now just remove this phrase, show that now this is the principle. Anyway, we are now going to prove it. Okay? Yeah. Now let's go for the proof. What is the proof that we are doing now? The charges flow from a region of higher concentration or higher potential to the region of lower potential. Or what is same as saying that if a charged sphere conducting, or simply call it as a conductor also, is introduced into a shell, then all the charges will flow from the sphere, that is conductor, into the shell when brought in contact. Of course, whatever be the charge of the shell. Now let me just put a diagram for that. Let me consider a conducting shell which is having a charge plus Q. It is already holding a charge plus Q, capital Q. Let me make it as capital Q coulombs. And this is the shell. Now, let us bring a conductor which is now in the shape of a sphere. This holds good for any shape of the conductor. Now, this conductor which is inside the shell is charged to small q coulomb. Now, let R be the radius of the shell. This is R, and smaller be the radius of the sphere. Smaller be the radius of the sphere. Okay. Now let us talk about different electric potentials at different points in this diagram. Okay, let me just write, this is the conductor, or which in this case we can also call it as a sphere because we have taken a spherical shaped conductor. Now there is a wire connecting the conductor to the shell so that charges will flow and have an opportunity to reside on the surface of the conductor. Okay. Now let us examine the electric potentials at different points with respect to this diagram. You know that electric potential is constant throughout the volume. So what is the electric potential just on the surface of the shell and inside shell? It is same because electric potential is constant. So let me just make it as, show it as electric potential V, and it is due to the charge Q, and the radius of the sphere is capital R. So here you have V of Q of R is the electric potential, and inside is also same, V of Q of R. This is with respect to the shell, just on the surface and inside. Now let us examine the electric potential of the sphere. Now small r is the radius. You know how do you write potential? What is the formula for potential? Potential is charge divided by distance. And remember, electric intensity is charge divided by distance square, whereas charge just distance, charge by just distance is potential. So what is the charge here? Q. Potential is denoted by V and Q R. Smaller because the radius is smaller for the sphere. Okay. So we shall now write, let capital R be the radius of the shell containing or containing a charge plus Q or simply Q. Similarly, let small r be the radius of the conductor or sphere, radius of the sphere having a charge. What is the charge on the sphere? Small q. Okay. Now, electric potential due to charge plus q, on and inside the surface of the sphere, not sphere, shell. I am now talking with respect to shell. Is, we have denoted as V Q of R, which is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught charge divided by distance. This is the value of the electric potential just on the surface of the sphere and inside sphere. Remember, on the surface and inside it is same, because electric potential is constant throughout the volume. Now, electric potential due to charge small q, on the sphere affecting the shell. See, this is also charged, the sphere is also charged. So, the shell is under the influence of electric potential due to the sphere also. Now, this is V of Q of capital R, and this is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. So, what is the total electric potential of the shell? Therefore, total electric potential due to charge plus q of this, plus q and small q, capital Q and small q, that's total electric potential of the shell. Let's call it as V of shell. V of shell is equal to V of Q of R plus V of small q of R. Okay. Now, let's investigate the electric potential for this sphere now. What is the total electric potential of this sphere? Total electric potential of the sphere I took for the shell, now I am taking for sphere. V sphere is equal to, now it has a electric potential of V of Q of R, and it is also experiencing V of Q of R, which is present inside also. So, V of capital Q of R plus V of small q of R. So, it is V of capital Q of R plus V of small q of R, small r. Why did I take this? Because the sphere is also experiencing electric potential of the shell, which is same on the surface and also inside. Okay. Now, let us take the potential difference between the sphere and the shell. Potential difference between the sphere and the shell, that I call it as V. So, it is V of sphere minus V of shell, that is equal to, what is the total value of V of sphere? V of Q of R plus V of Q of small r minus, and V of shell is V of Q of R plus V of Q of R. Now, here you observe that when we subtract, simplify, V of Q of R minus V of Q of R, these two terms cancel out. So, net potential difference between sphere and shell is, this is V of Q of r minus V of Q of r, capital R, or V of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by small r minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by capital R. Introducing the respective electric potential values, or V equals Q by 4 pi epsilon naught is common. It is 1 by R minus 1 by capital R. Now, since R is less than R, small r obviously is less than capital R, implies that 1 by R is greater than 1 by capital R. So, this 1 by R is bigger than this quantity. Since 1 by R is bigger than 1 by capital R, this quantity is going to remain as positive. So, since this is positive, the positivity is given by 1 by R, because 1 by R is greater than 1 by R, R is less than R. So, what is the reciprocal ratios? It changes. It becomes now greater. 1 by R is greater than 1 by R, which means that the potential of sphere is greater than the potential of the shell. So, what we have proved now? We have just proved that V of sphere, that is potential of sphere, is greater than V of shell, which means the sphere is at higher concentration and the shell is at lower concentration. So, when these two are brought into contact, obviously charges will have to flow from place of higher concentration or higher potential to the region of lower potential. Therefore, the sphere is at higher potential. The sphere is at higher potential than the than the shell. So, what happens? Charges will flow from sphere to shell and will reside on the surface of the shell, whatever be the charge on the shell. See, on the shell we already had a charge of plus Q. Even then, all the charge of the sphere reside on the surface of the shell. This principle is used in the working of Van de Graaff generator, which I will tell you in the next class.